Hello, good morning. How are you all doing today? That's interesting with Restream chat. I was trying to set it up so that way we'd have the combined chats up top, but that doesn't seem. Let me try a test message. Oh, so that message just sits there forever until it gets pushed down. Does it not ever disappear? I thought that it would disappear. That's an interesting design choice. See if I can configure. Let's see, so I did mbed chat. If I launch you, no, that's just the chat. Okay. Is there settings? Oh, hide messages? Does that work? Oh, hide message after 30 seconds. Okay, I think that's better. All right, let's try that. Is it updated? I think so. I don't know. I don't think it's disappearing. Unless I need to refresh it. Now we'll see if that goes away after 30 seconds. And if it doesn't, then I guess I'll go back to what I previously had last time. That's not disappearing. Okay, fine. I'll have to figure this out another time. All right, let me pull this out. Okay, that should be good to get us going. And then, all right, so today we're going to be continuing working on our LMS. We've been basically working on getting it set up and ready to go for us to deploy our Docker course. And so we have a couple different things. Basically, in our ready current stage, we have 10 more things, and then I have one thing in progress before we're done. We do have some things in our inbox, so let's start with processing those. Okay, so set up Sentry, deploy, and get up actions. This is pretty self-explanatory. We set up Sentry and we have that working in production, and I want to make sure that that's working. That basically I know when there's a new release. That's fairly low priority though, so I'm going to convert to an issue with the LMS. And we'll put this into just the normal backlog. Okay, increase space between each section within a course. Right, so there's not very much space between each one of those. I think we can do that pretty easily. So I'm gonna add that to LMS. This is enhancement. And I'll put this into ready current stage. Change font for main title of each course article. Right, because they are, it's too similar to the title of the sections, which that should be fairly simple too. So we can add that in. Remove the section title video because it's obvious. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I have to do that in a database right now because I don't have an edit, but it's certainly possible. Oh, it's actually, that's the wrong, it's not LMS. That's like the course. Did I not move it? Okay, there we go. Add a Zilby help feature. So yeah, this was something that I think Faster Than Lime does in their written articles. They have a sort of like a nice little section where it's like the author of the article can speak to you in first person as opposed to having article be like we, they, you know, basically a collaboration together. That would be really cool for me to be able to add new notes in for like, oh yeah, I rarely do this myself. It's not really that big of a problem. And we can have it be Zilby describing it as opposed to me. Or like a little call out or something like that. That would be really nice. So that'll be something in there. I'm pretty sure I'll need to basically customize a markdown system for myself if I want to do that. So this is going to be in backlog. Add a version page to the LMS. Yeah, so I had this idea that maybe there's some place you can go in the LMS to see like the versions that have been uploaded and what we've done with it and what is available. We don't have that right now, which is not that big of a deal. Some places have it, some places don't. Add ability for images in course articles. I think this is going to be pretty important for future courses. I kind of wanted it for Docker and I just don't have, I need some way to like set it up, figure out where it's going to go in the article. Really it's going to be something for like uploading images to S3 and auto having them configure, yeah, having it all set up for me. Right, add the ability to add a testimonial to a course. So I have actually received a couple testimonials in the past, although most of them are for the YouTube courses. I did have one for the SQLX course. So I want to eventually add that in. I don't know exactly where that's going to go. And then add the specific testimonial in. Which I don't think goes into any of them because this is not for the Docker course. This is for when I don't have something set up for. So I'm just going to put that into backlog. Okay, and that is everything here. So we're gonna continue with this. Now, I left the last stream that we worked on this. That was Tuesday last week with breaking the production deployment. So I fixed that, and then I went to work to like sort of fix getting everything else working. And it took me a while. It took me a few hours to like get things actually going the way they're supposed to go. So at this point in time, after you create an account, an error banner shows up saying, hey, you need to confirm your account before you can truly log in. Please go and click the confirm email. And then every time it tries to send a new email for that, I have a new email account that I've set up. We're using SendGrid for the send emails. I confirmed it with multiple emails sending back to back. It seems to work just fine. So I'm happy with that. One person, unfortunately, I noticed in the logs, did attempt to log in 15 times after while I was getting all those things set up, which unfortunately is not good. I sent them an email, asked them, apologized, said I'm sorry, and asked them which course they were interested in, but they haven't responded yet. Hopefully they do eventually check their email again, but it's one of those like, ooh, yeah, this when, especially after this, you know what? Let's add a note in for myself right now. I need set up like a pre-release deployment. It won't fully double the cost, but it will not help. It'll make it more expensive, but I'll not run into those issues anymore because I'll make sure it's working on dev before I deploy it over to production. So the last part for this that we need is to remove the login page, because I have the login page just sitting there and it's code that's not being used. And I'm a big believer of not having code that's not being used. So I want to remove that altogether. So if we take a look, it's pages login here, and this is what I want to remove. So if I were to just remove this, I'm actually now curious, how broken is this going to be? This should be pretty broken. Two errors. Okay, so only 2 errors, but 7 warnings. Okay, so in pages mod, that's their first one, which that makes sense. So you're going to yell at us about this login. You're going to yell at us, okay, because we don't have this here. But if we don't have that, then, okay, so we don't want this login anymore. Oh, create account. Also, we don't have. Both of those we don't use. Okay, so I've removed create account and login from our list of login choices. Okay, that means both of you go away too. Okay, so this is in course access article. Right, okay, so if I click on the purchase link, I either go to the course, to course purchase with the course ID, or I go to login. I should... You're right, because this is not going to be a navigation push anymore because we're not going there. Let's say I just go to home right now. Make this work, and then we're gonna have to check out. We're gonna have to check that out. Okay, no more errors. Just warnings. So you should now be working. So if I'm not logged in, I go to a course, we go to here, I preview. Was it... No, okay. Maybe it's because none of these are preview. I'm curious now. If I make one of you preview, this is actually production database, I want to say. Okay, what if I do this on actually deployed? Okay, I don't have any. Right, okay, so I need to make something. I need to make something preview. Okay, so introduction to Docker, installing Docker. Huh, I have two. Okay, that one. Okay. Oh, it's preview. I can click on that, but it doesn't mark that I can click on it. That's gonna be interesting. So that's a new thing. Maybe not actual story. Maybe it's just redesign. Redesign course article navigation. Okay, so I come in here, and then here we have login to purchase. So this is that login page, and it takes me to home right now. Oh, oh no, right. Because I removed that and locally. So now I should be able to do this locally. So now this takes me to home. So what I want to do here is I want to, if it's login to purchase, that takes me to the same place that this does. When, of course, it works locally, which I don't know why this doesn't always work locally. It takes me here. So what do I want to do with that? I need to figure out where the login was, which was on the home screen, I think. I think it was on app. Unclick login. We get the login URI, and then I set the href, and then we head over there. So I need to do the same thing here. I need to say, hey, if we've clicked this thing, I need to go over here. Which, if I want this to be exactly the same thing, you need to go into auth. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, so let's v-split this. Let's go to auth. Okay, so we have get user info here. I bet we can just create a function that just does this, because all you're doing, okay, so auth login URI, we get the URI, and then we just go there. So navigate to login. You don't need to take anything in. But you should return a result, which doesn't do anything. It just has the error in it. Okay, so first off, we need to get auth login URI, which is not here. So import you. Okay, so if okay, we get that. Now, this will be more interesting. I guess I do want to return a new error. I want to do that. That gives me... Oh. Okay, that gets me an I string, which is going to be... Okay, that's a string. I do want to make sure that that... Okay, so the only question mark that I have in here is from save cookie. Where's my bail? If is localhost. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll handle the error message out. Okay, let's go back to... Okay, so we get you. Now for you, we navigate there. So glue utils, window, locations, state href, login URI, stir. And then this is an expect. I don't want to actually crash here. I want it to return. Oh, you're not. Okay, so I can't actually do that. I have to change you. Okay, so we'll log out the error along with error navigating to login URI. But then we have to return a new error, which is going to be, what are we using? Are we using error? I am using error. Error, and this is going to be... Oh, cannot find macro error. Okay, and now all you're yelling at me about. BBBI? Hello, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. We're it's a Monday. Mondays are nice. Beginning of the new week. And we're working on the LMS, and we're slowly chipping away at all the things we need to do before we can release the Docker course. Okay, navigate to login. So now we're going to come back to here, and so I will use the dispatch So we'll call back from, and I want to call, we'll if let error. Navigate to login. Okay, so if I have this error, I now have this report. So I don't think I'm gonna log it out at this point in time. Although I certainly could. But it's been logged out at least once previously. So I think at this point in time, I just want to alert error. Error alert. Error alert. Pass in the dispatch, and then the message was do I have to clone dispatch in here? Because it's been cloned here. I would imagine that I could just move it in here. But I'll clone you. It's pretty free to do that. Good, you're in Japan right now, and it's midnight. Oh, that's pretty late. But hello from Japan. Okay, so I have that working supposedly. So now if I click login to purchase, that still takes me there. Why is that? This login on click login. On click login. Okay. Oh, no. Right. I haven't done anything at all. All I did was make it so that this way, this is now using the other function. So as long as this eventually, yeah, that works. So now we're going to come back to this one. This is where I want to do it. Okay, so okay, on click purchase. I need the dispatch. Do I have access to dispatch? Okay, there's dispatch there. On click purchase, okay. So I need to clone dispatch. We're going to move you in here. So instead of navigation push routes homes, now we're going to if let, which I don't care about this error. All right, so if we get this, I just want to do the dispatch again. So log error, was it as error alert, I think. I wonder if it's gonna let me about clone this time, even though last time I needed it. ADN, hello, how are you doing today? LMS, so it stands for Learning Management System. It's a web application that I've created a short while ago. It's in Rust and using the front-end framework called yew.rs, which is very similar to React. And it's basically a place where I can sell and host courses that I create. So previously, I've just deployed the courses for free on YouTube. And now I'm trying to like sort of move forward a little bit, be a little bit more businessy, and put some of the courses up for sale. And so I have one course up there right now, and the second course is ready to go. We have some beta testers that have gone through it, given us some feedback, and so we have like 11 items for us to fix up about the course, about the LMS itself, before we do the launch. So that's what we're working on. Does that answer your question? I hope it does. P.S. Basura, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so what is our question? Our question is, okay, so if I do that, that gets us there. And that actually navigates there, otherwise displays the error alert. So now, build failure. Use of move value dispatch. Dispatch was, okay. Variable move to use enclosure. Oh, I didn't. Okay. There. That way I don't move it and I can clone it. It's a pretty cheap clone because the dispatch in this case is a smart pointer. So I should be able to clone it as many times as I want. It's still the one dispatch. Awesome. That's great. How does the course feature compare with podia.com? I've never used Podia, so I don't. User registration, billing, content publication. It's just for me right now. So it's not. There's going to be a lot of things that like Podia probably does that I don't do. But for like billing type stuff, I use Stripe right now. I did create an account for, what is it called? PayPal. So I'm probably gonna hook up PayPal for payment as well as like any other requests that people might have. Content publication right now is just like basically I log in, I can create a course, I can create tags, and I can throw that up there and then assign it to a course, and everything like that. It's really just for me right now because there's nothing in there for other content creators to create their stuff. That's probably going to come eventually, but after I like get the LMS working the way we want it to. And it will probably be a rebuild to get it to the point where like once we know the design of it, we can rebuild it, but with multiple authors in mind at that point. Sir, how to create game website for fantasy? What kind of fantasy are we talking about? Like fantasy sports, fantasy stories, videos? Like, because for the most part, it ends up just being design. Because if you want to create like anything, regardless of like whatever domain it's going towards, it's going to be, you have to like figure out the right design for your target audience. And then building it is fairly simple. It's actually going to be very similar regardless of what you do. If you use something like React, or Yew in this case, because it's similar to React, it's you're breaking down each section of the app into components and then basically building those and sticking them together like Lego pieces. But it's really hard for me to like be able to answer that in a more specific way because each web application is going to be slightly different, but mostly due to the design, like the way you approach it. Does that answer your question? I guess, or rather, does it come as close as it can to answer the question, even though it doesn't really? Okay, so that goes there. That why does that blank out sometimes? The relogging in here is fine. I think callback from, is that because is it actually a link? On click purchase. Okay, and I throw that into the course, right? Right. Okay, on click purchase goes into the BB course content. Oh, I want course content. Okay, on click purchase is this. Okay, so I want to go find this. Okay, on click purchase props on click purchase dot clone on click callback from move. Now you're saying you're nothing. On click. Oh, because it's from a BB button. And I wonder if I want to. I want to disable it. You're not in a forum, are you? Because if you're in a forum, I would expect it to like try to do something like try to do something. But I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not in a forum, so I don't need to worry about it causing any weird reactions. Let's see. What's my opinion on Devin, the new AI dev? Right now, my opinion is pretty basic because I haven't been able to see it in action. And I don't really count the marketing videos that the company behind Devin put out because those are highly edited. They're basically who knows how many takes it took to like get those, and it's a lot of claims from them. But from my understanding, nobody that I trust has actually gotten their hands on Devin yet. Now, I did sign up for the beta for it, so if they do give me access, I will play around with it. And as long as I'm not behind any kind of like non-disclosure where I can't talk about it, I will tell you all about it. And I mean, basically, we just have to wait until they actually release it to people using it. 91 Club is a fantasy game, but he's a big scam. Check out 91 Club. I've never heard of that. So yeah, I don't really know about like what does it mean by fantasy game? Is like fantasy and science fiction type things, or fantasy sports? Either way, they could still be scams. RO Cloud, hello. How are you doing today? There is the issue of WASM that it cannot be split into chunks. Yes, that is a huge issue right now. And there are ways to make the WASM file smaller, but it's going to be a lot better once there is chunks and lazy loading. That will be a lot nicer. Depending on the website, you can result in a very big file. Yeah, absolutely. So my belief and guess right now, or at least like my initial big assumption, is that anyone who is like taking courses for web development has like good enough internet to handle the larger WASM downloads. Obviously, that's not true for like a lot of different domains. It's an assumption right now, but it may be a wrong assumption. And there are some things that we can do to help with yew and the WebAssembly size, but I don't think they're really working on that until yew is released. That's my guess, which is going to be unfortunate. A rewrite into something that doesn't use WebAssembly, or at least has like smaller WebAssembly because it does a bunch of stuff like on the back end beforehand, might be better. And we can look into that too to sort of see how those are. But yeah, I'm not going to worry about it too much right yet until it sort of like becomes more of a problem, or at least until I get some feedback that's like, hey, this is a problem for us. And Coffee Drinker, hello, how are you doing today? Okay, so that's up and working. That's good. So we fixed that. That should be good. I didn't do anything over here. Now, I really wish that I knew how to close 1/2 the buffer, but I don't know how to remove the split. Because if I do vsplit, I can't like do vsplit close. That this is the only choice. It's open a file on vertical split. I want to close the vertical split. I don't think that's actually possible. Because when I close this buffer, it's closing the buffers between both of them. It closes everything, which is a little bit unfortunate. All right, let's go to app, let this load up, and then we're going to work on all the warnings. You're doing good. Finished up working in a bit. Finishing up work in a bit. Currently debugging some Azure Logic app issues. Oh, the cloud app issues. Those are always the funnest to work on because I don't know. To me, I'd be interested in like what the pain is for all of you. But for me, the pain is usually how slow it is between each experiment that you try to like figure out where the bug really is. I'm sorry, PS. I don't think I can help at all with anything like that because like I'm not associated with any of those. I've never worked on any of those things, and I don't think I can like I don't think I can help like recover or like counter any like spam or sites besides just suggest, hey, hopefully nobody else goes to them. I don't know, like, are there other content creators that can that do tend to like have the power to be able to like help with that? Yeah, you hate these high level drag and drop code things. Yeah, I've been doing more and more things in Pulumi, which allows me to control cloud through code, which is in my mind a lot nicer, but it still has the same problem, which is I run something and then I have to wait until I deploy it. I have to wait till it runs. I have to wait till that stuff just to find out whether or not it's going to work. I really kind of am hoping for a good locally deployable cloud that I can use. And like then I could put a cloud inside of like a single EC2 instance or Azure instance or Google Cloud Compute instance or something like that, and use it and just basically like have the exact same locally as I have deployed. I don't think that's there yet, though. Okay, so function create account is never used because we are not using it anymore. So we get to delete. We get to delete some code. Deleting code is the best. That did not delete the, okay. It did not delete all the unused imports. It just deleted that one unused import. Because here, I'll try it again. Remove all the unused imports, and we have logging, log error, and then log, and then it doesn't do the log. Incoming ad break. Ad starts in 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I guess a heads up for that. Okay, unused var. Okay, so if I'm not using that, just go with that. Variants in this enum are dead, huh? Oh, am I never using main store error? Oh, because I was gonna set this up. I never did use it. So I don't need it anymore. And I'm never using the public static home route. Okay. Did I create that for testing? I want to say I created that for testing. But okay, everything is running there. Now, I do have some local tests, but I think I broke my tests and I need to redo those. Now, a lot of the stuff that we've made up here, so that still goes to login eventually. Look, I'm still getting this problem where locally I'm being redirected by auth0 instantly without actually logging in, which I'm not exactly sure. I have some thoughts about it, and maybe here, let's. I want to, what is it that I want to do for this? I want to set up separate app for dev and production in auth0. Okay, so this should still work. Now, if I log in, I don't believe that it sends me back here because I have to like set that up in auth0. Oh, and I need to. Oh, yeah. What developer? This is going to redirect me. Okay, this is going to redirect me to localhost, to the production one anyways. So that, I think everything should work. Let's go ahead and deploy it, and then we can smoke test it in production. Auth stuff is particularly hard to work on, especially like with using cloud auth. And there's no, I could have, and like I had considered setting up like one of the open source auth variants where I can like self-host the entire auth system, but looking through it, I wasn't super happy with any of them. And I could use auth0 for free for right now, so that's what I'm going with. I am not opposed to in a future switching over to something else though. Okay, so you're all good here. I need to rebuild you. I need to verify the. I think the .env that I have is production. Oh, and the other thing is, I think I had for this disabled sentry. Yeah, we had disabled sentry, so we want to turn this back on. Oh, that's not it. Right, it was having trouble finding loading it locally. That was what was going on. Okay, and then we'll do the deployment while the ads are running on Twitch. Okay, so checking this out, I think these will be good. Now I do have deployment set up in CI/CD, but for some reason last week it completely broke and started deploying just nothing. And it has something to do with the environment variables being loaded in by trunk, so I have no idea what's that. So I need to redo the CI/CD system too, which kind of sucks. But okay, so if I rebuild you, come over here. If I rebuild you, now I should be able to sync the dist folder. And then I create the invalidation for index. And now, if I refresh you, when I go to log into purchase, it should take me here. Perfect. So there we go. Now that this ticket should be done. So I've moved the login page. I guess I should actually deploy this. Or at least I should put this on GitHub. So let's see, this is moved login, move create account.